about you.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
It is a wild day at the Masters with the cut line quickly coming into focus. A loaded leaderboard. The shots were tough. The scores show it. As you see there, Laura Warren and Dan Booth are live at the Augusta National on a very windy day, guys.
Yeah, the wind has really not let up out here. Even playing Augusta National, a lot of these players were saying they were just ready to go inside, just getting absolutely beaten up out there. And I want to bring in Sports Director Dan Booth to talk about the leaderboard, because a lot of these guys made it look easy on a day that was anything but.
And to that point, it's been a struggle for a lot of these guys, trusting their approaches, getting into the greens, and even on the greens, you saw it move a little bit. So something that's interesting, knowing the conditions out here and the way that the whole field is played, the cut has officially been moved to 5 over at the moment. That is the projected cut, 5 over. So let's take a look at that leaderboard to see who, as of right now, is going to be playing throughout the weekend. So Scotty Scheffler is currently atop the leaderboard at 7 under. Max Homa and Bryson DeChambeau are both at 6 under. DeChambeau was at 7 under moments ago, but he did finish out his final round for 2 here with a bogey on 18. Not exactly how he wanted to finish it, finishing 1 over on the day, relinquishing the lead at the moment to Scotty Scheffler. Now we have multiple players doing really well across the board. Colin Morikawa having a very successful run so far today. He'll be playing for the weekend as well. He is at 3 under. Someone to really keep an eye on down the stretch. Now when it comes to some of the notable players, Tiger Woods has made the cut once again. 24 years in a row, or 24 consecutive cuts made for Tiger Woods. Extremely impressive at 1 over. Rory McIlroy is in that area as well. Phil is at 2 over, and with the cut moving a little bit, it does help reigning Masters champion Jon Rahm, who at the moment is at 4 over. So not a lot of wiggle room for Jon Rahm. We're going to be keeping a close eye on him, because as of right now, he is on 13. Now when it comes to the 5-time Masters champion Tiger Woods, he didn't have to win a green jacket this year to once again make history. By finishing round 2 at 1 over, Tiger breaks the record by making the cut for the 24th consecutive time. Tiger played 23 holes today. He started his day by finishing his first round, and then within less than an hour of finishing up that round, he had to head back out to the first tee for round 2. It was a long day for Tiger, but once again, he is playing the weekend here at Augusta National.
I'm right there. I'm only, 8 back as of right now. I don't think anyone's going to run off and hide right now, but it's really munched. The way the ball is moving on the greens, chip shots are being blown. It's all you want in a golf course today.
The energy is always amazing whenever you're around Tiger Woods. You know exactly where he is on the course because of how much cheering there is. I followed him through Amen Corner, and you could just feel the tension every time he got one of those par saves all the way through the corner. Jon Rahm, once again, at 4 over at the moment, just barely making the cut. We're going to keep a close eye on him moving forward.
It's funny you mentioned that. Max Homa was saying it kind of takes the pressure off of him, because he was playing around with Tiger, so all attention was on Tiger. But just a brutal day out there, as we mentioned. Not a lot of low scores because of that. The cut line is at 5, which is higher than average, and the leaders were holding pretty steady, making it look easy on a day that it was not. The World Golf Rankings, Vegas, the leaderboard, and patrons all agree Scotty Scheffler is a pretty solid bet this week.
Well, obviously, Scheffler right now is playing the best game of anybody. I mean, you can't count him out of anything.
Watching Scotty hit it out of the sand, it's kind of hard to root against him the way he's played the last couple weeks.
And it's not just his incredible skills that make this former Masters champion easy to root for.
Seems like a very nice, approachable, God-fearing guy. Kind of as normal as you can be for as good at golf as he is.
I'd like to see him, get back up in the winning circle again. I just think he's a great guy, great player.
But to win, he'll have to outpace Bryson DeChambeau, who's playing really great golf. But even though he's been atop the leaderboard for most of the tournament, Bryson hasn't convinced everyone he can take the baton to the finish line.
Bryson yesterday had a great day, but, I think Scotty's going to do a real good job with the win.
He can be an acquired taste. Patrons politely call him hard to connect with. Then there's Max Homa, who crushes, but has struggled with majors.
I wrote something in my journal yesterday that just said, however good I am is how good I am. I don't need to try to be better than I am. And I can just see wherever that takes me. Maybe it's winning this, maybe it's not. And I'm okay with that.
But patrons love him and would love to see him stay strong and make a run, a home run. He would definitely roast that pun, so don't tell him.
He's a social media guy, so he connects with people on the internet. He's also younger and not afraid to kind of approach the fans. That's nice for us young golf fans.
He really makes it look like anyone can do it, but make no mistake, out here today, you probably could not. It was just absolutely brutal. The TV doesn't really do it justice, just how much the wind was blowing, because on 18, all of the patrons would just have to duck down and kind of hide their face with their hats because the sand was just sandblasting the gallery today. So really tough day, and with it being such a tough day, not a great day to play around in some change out there for a lot of these guys. 27 players had a very early morning to finish up round one from yesterday, squeezing in a lot of competitive golf in a single day to find out who makes the cut. And the players finishing up from yesterday teed off bright and early at 7:50 this morning.
And also this morning, it wasn't easy getting out there that early, and the conditions completely changed with different wind direction. And I probably preferred a little bit more sleep. That's part of it. You know, you gotta adapt as part of it, so I can't complain. I like it. I like the grind, so it's part of it.
Woke up around like 5:30. Just did some activation stuff this morning. Got out here early, and it's kind of tough. The range was pretty jammed with that early start, but felt prepared out this morning and came out the gates really strong.
One is going to sleep very well tonight, Richard.
After being battered all day long, the players, the patrons, the anchors, they're outside covering it as well. Laura, I guess you'd have to say this is advantage Augusta National yesterday and today. This weekend, the players, we'll see how much they can get back, right? They've got to go low, get those red numbers on the scoreboard, don't you think?
That's right. A lot of ground to make up for a lot of players.
All right, thanks, Laura Warren, live to National. I'm going to give you a live look outside our station now. You can really see the wind impacting. The flags have been just standing straight all day long. Even First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale himself has been amazed by our local wind speeds this afternoon. We're being battered here, Riley.
We are, Richard, in a number of power outages. We've seen even have a few calls about a couple of trees down reported across the region. And no surprise, take a look at our top wind gusts so far today. 46 in Augusta, 45 in Aiken. The top one up there in Wilkes County, Washington, got up to 47. And we're actually seeing these top max wind gusts at the moment. Our current gust right now in Bushfield is 46. We're at 45 in Aiken, and currently still around 41 up there in Wilkes County. So the wind has not calmed down. If you're going to be out and about around town, be safe, especially on the roadways. Give those high-profile vehicles plenty of room and stay away from any tall trees for sure. Wind advisory will finally go away once we get after 8 p.m. tonight, so the wind is going to stay a factor at least the next couple of hours. But if you are stepping out, temps will currently in the 70s will fall into the 60s pretty quickly once we get to around sunset. And then overnight tonight, we should see our low temps bottom out into the 40s. The reason is we have very dry air in place. This is also what's helping dry out that golf course significantly. Right now, our relative humidity less than 20% here in Augusta. High pressure is moving in. This is going to keep us high and dry all the way through our weekend rounds. Much more on that forecast in just about 10 minutes.
Breaking news for you at 6 o'clock. Thousands of people without power right now across our area because of the strong wind pushing through as we speak. The latest numbers showing more than 1,700 in Lincoln County in the dark, more than 2,200 in Columbia County right now in the dark, 139 people without power in Richmond County, 776 in Aiken County, and the numbers are changing by the minute as the wind continues pushing through our area. Georgia Power right now not listing a restoration time for you, but we're going to let you know just as soon as we find out more about a lot of households in the dark tonight. Time for our First Alert traffic check. Allie Turner in the Social Media Center tracking it for us real time.
And we want to give you a couple of updates. We do have a report that a tree is down on Wrightsboro Road at Daniel Field, and traffic signals are down on Doug Bernard Parkway and 520. But the time right now is 6:09, so that means that tonight's evening traffic plan is in play for tournament week. And as you can see right here on Washington Road, things are starting to really back up as the second round comes to a close this afternoon. But that full pattern is in effect, which means there is no left turn if you're trying to go on Berkman's Road near Alexander Drive. You cannot take that left turn to get to Augusta National. And that also means, like I said earlier, this line right here on Washington Road continues to grow. And they're going even longer, pushing people towards I-20. But right now, we're giving you a live look over at Riverwatch. And you can see that right there. Those people are it's not really that too backed up, but it will be as we inch closer to 7 o'clock. And last week, the sheriff's office told me that if you can avoid Riverwatch Parkway, do so because it's one of the busiest roads in our area. But right now, look right at Washington Road. It's super busy. Second, it's the first to Riverwatch Parkway, but people are lining up, they're backing up, going towards I-20 and going towards downtown Augusta. So if you can really avoid that area, you'll also want to pay attention to those patrons because there's not a lot of sidewalks going down there as people are coming back into town from spring break, or they're leaving the course, or they may even be coming into town this weekend. So again, some may be even headed to the restaurants. But again, you'll want to avoid Riverwatch Parkway, Berkman's Road, and Alexander tonight.
All right, Hallie Turner tracking traffic all around on a very busy Friday afternoon in Augusta, Georgia, as folks start to leave Augusta National. Hallie, thanks for the update there. There is a big push to inspire the next generation of golfers, and there's someone here in town who's excited to expand opportunities for golf for young people in our community. Nick Veland live for us at the Patch with his story.
Yeah, Richard, well, getting out of the bunker is frustrating, and missing a putt is even more frustrating, but golf is continuing to grow, so more and more kids are getting involved in the art area, so more and more are going to be hitting the links.
You got cute, it came back to you.
Stuck in the sand, but Andre Lacey's a local coach who helps everyone climb out.
There you go. Golf is a hard game, and to accomplish one shot, you get some pure joy moments out of helping them succeed at a task.
Lacey works to coach anyone who's looking for one.
You got to hit that sand, okay?
No matter what, he'll help provide scholarships because golf is growing and reaching more areas.
Golf is becoming very diverse.
Devarian Blunt, as an adult, just got his first set of clubs. When he asked his stepson to play, someone else stepped in.
And my daughter Zora hopped up and said, "Hey, I want to play."
The rest is history.
Her first few swings were about what we think they were going to be. And then she connected the first time. And then she connected the second time.
Lacey helps coach Devarian and Azora. Local opportunities get Devarian excited as a dad. Payne College's women's golf team won a national championship after recently gaining a program. And the Patch turned into a hub for junior and high school golf.
The opportunities for not only myself, but my daughter and my entire family, to come out here and enjoy something that's probably going to multiply throughout the next few years. It's something interesting that actually keeps us here in Augusta.
And Lacey says that if you get inspired this weekend to go out and try and play golf, to just go out and do it. And if you need some help, we'll have his contact information on our website. You can also reach out about scholarship opportunities, which also could include free golf lessons.
More doors are being opened in Augusta, Georgia, and that is great to hear. Nick Veland live for us at the Patch. Next on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're heading to the Wild to show you a really unique living experience for visitors and locals alike. We're going to go glamping, Riley.
That looks like a lot of fun, and if you're heading out tonight, luckily the wind does go away once we get after sunset, but until then, be safe. Some dangerous wind out there. Update on the forecast just after the break.
Time and temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
Reliable energy to make moments like this happen. Dominion Energy, powering your everyday.
To weather now as we give you a live look there at Alexander Drive and Riverwatch Parkway. Those cars coming off Alexander are backing up toward Augusta National now. Busy afternoon to be on the roadway. And Riley, don't you know those folks are happy to be at the Masters, but really relieved to be back in their car after being beaten up by the wind today?
I know that may not have to worry about too much about sunburn today, but definitely had some wind burn for sure. And the air is very dry out there, so just drying out everything across the region. Here's a look at our current winds and wind gusts. How about this? In Columbia, they actually just recorded a gust up to 51 miles per hour. This is intense wind, folks. No surprise that we are seeing a number of power outages, even a few trees coming down across the region. So once again, just be extra safe if you're heading out, especially if you're going to be in a vehicle. The reason why we have very strong winds today is that we have very strong low pressure up towards the northeast and very high pressure near the Gulf Coast. So we're just kind of in between that, and that tight pressure gradient is just bringing us that very strong west wind. Now with high pressure building in through through the weekend. That is going to keep our skies clear. Temperatures are going to be comfortable, and we are going to see a beautiful final round, final 2 rounds of the Masters heading into the weekend. Here's a look at our current conditions. So once again, we're close to 70 at the moment, and we will stay mostly clear as we push into tonight. Tomorrow morning, feeling a little bit cool out there for some spots relative to obviously where you're traveling to us from, but you may want a light jacket for the first part of the day. Temps will be close to 50, even a few spots dipping down to the 40s at times. Most likely around sunrise, we'll get down to 47 for places like Bushfield, and we'll stay cool out there the first couple of hours of the day, but by lunchtime, we're already close to 70, seeing sun stick around most of the day, and that wind will be generally 15 miles per hour less through the afternoon, so a significant improvement from what we've seen over the past couple of days. Here's high temps for other spots in the region, 75 up towards Saluda, especially if you're heading up towards Clarks Hill Lake. A little bit warmer for us here in town, just by a degree or 2. Here's your planner if you're heading to the course again on Sunday for that final round. Lots of sun sticking around again, and even less of a wind, generally less than 15 miles an hour most of our Sunday afternoon, so just a picture perfect into the weekend. High temperatures will be a little bit warmer, hitting the 80s for us. If you are heading up towards the lake, luckily no lake wind advisory in effect Saturday or Sunday. May still feel a little bit breezy at times both afternoons with that wind picking up, say anywhere from 10 to 15, but very pleasant out there. We got those cool mornings, but very nice afternoons, 70s and 80s up at the hill this weekend. Looking ahead to next week, how about this? Mid-80s most of next week, and not much rain until we get to Friday.
Yeah, we are in for a warm-up next week. Riley Hale, thanks so much. You know, hotels, Airbnbs, and more are booked all across Augusta this week. Another option just down the road at Clarks Hill Lake could have you at Mother Nature's doorstep. Sydney Hood takes us glamping.
It's glamour and camping combined, or you could say it's where the wild meets refined. Think of it this way, you can still enjoy the beauty of nature without even having to lift a finger.
You're still surrounded by the sights and sounds of nature, and you're still sleeping in a tent. But this is not exactly what you would call roughing it.
It's better than a hotel, really. It's got a lot of the same amenities, but you're right here on the water.
Sure, there are other options for a waterside view.
Kind of a little room in your own house. It's low stress, and you get to enjoy part of your community that you probably haven't seen before.
The Gutierrez family came from North Augusta.
We had rented out our house for Masters Week, so I want to kind of keep it low key this year, not have to pack up a lot. Kind of just, you know, the hassle of packing up the kids and getting everything ready. So this kind of helped out with the stress level, just doing something local.
And while it may be uncharted waters to some, the trend of glamping is growing.
And it continues to grow. You see it popping up all over the place. Think about that side of the hospitality, but it's very similar to a hotel room. You just get to be out in the outdoors and enjoy a little bit of disconnect.
Michael Hollis says he's already starting to see his tents book months out from summer.
You can come out here, you can disconnect from, you know, the city. You can feel like you're out in the wild, in the woods, in the outdoors, experiencing the lake, and still be within 15 minutes of Evans and Augusta.
So no need for a backpack or sleeping bag, just bring the family. At Clarks Hill, Sydney Hood on your side.
It does look really nice out there. I guess on a windy day, you have to make sure that tent is fastened down tight. Augusta Regional Airport not done ramping up operations over there. Next on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're on your side with what you need to know about departures after it's all said and done in Augusta. How about heading home? We've got some advice coming up.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
59 Bobby Jones Expressway, or check us out online. A lot of folks doing that. SouthernIndustries.com. You'll be glad you did.
We are continuing to track this weather-related breaking news at 6 o'clock. Thousands without power right now all across our area as this windy weather pushes through. Here are the latest numbers we've seen. 1,700 outages in Lincoln County, more than 2,200 in the dark in Columbia County right now, 139 in Richmond County, 776 in Aiken County, 532 people in the dark in Edgefield. These numbers are changing by the minute as the wind pushes through our area. Georgia Power is on the scene and doing the best they can, but they're not giving a restoration time right now. We'll let you know as soon as we find out more about when those folks should be back online. The strong wind pulling down a tree, and this is Wrightsboro Road, not too far from Daniel Field. The Augusta Fire Department is on the scene there. It was blocking one lane for a while as we just passed it there. Use caution if you're in that area with down to one lane near the airport there. Now, over at Augusta Regional Airport, they're giving us a look at operations there. And today they let us out on the tarmac with a better bird's eye view, and you can see just what they're dealing with. All the planes on the ground coming and going with Masters patrons. The executive director says they're seeing 3 to 4 times the normal amount of passengers this week, but they have plans in place to deal with this congestion.
It starts with the air traffic control, so we bring in additional controllers this week to help manage traffic coming into here. We also provide additional parking for private planes and corporate aircraft. So our secondary runway, we close down that runway and taxiway, and we park aircraft there.
A lot of airplanes on the ground right now, and those officials at Augusta Regional say give yourself 2 or 3 extra hours to get there and get through TSA and catch your flight. We're back with more in a moment.
The Masters, this weekend on CBS.
Law firm.
Well, we are still dealing with some very dangerous wind across the region, folks. One thing to mention, I just received a picture of a tree down near Plum Branch Yacht Club, and in that picture I could see that there was a power line down, and there was a lot of people around that down tree. I know a lot of people want to help whenever trees come down to help out your neighbor. You need to make sure that you are nowhere near that power line. If that tree brings it down, that line could definitely still be active and can electrocute you within about a 30-foot radius of that line. So just be extra safe out there, folks. Still dangerous gusts over 40 miles an hour here in Augusta, and even close to 50 right now in Columbia. So I'd imagine power outages will likely continue the next hour or so, but wind will calm down once we get past 8 p.m.
We've got golfers on the course there, still at Augusta National. We've got our crew on the scene as well. We have another live update at the top of the hour over on 26 News, and we hope to see you there.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.